Hello there. This week's championship is called the Pink Pig. So, grab yourself a can of pork soda and you'll be feeling just fine. Ain't only quite like sitting around the house swilling down them cans of swine. But all jokes aside, it's a reference to the Porsche 917 from 1971. But I won't be driving that car. I took the Aston Martin DBR1, which is a car I drove before, but never in S1 class. I normally drive it in A class, where it is pretty good. Is it also good in S1 class? Will I be able to handle the car? We'll find out. And if you enjoyed this video, please press any of the buttons below. Just randomly click one. That way at least I'll know somebody took a look. First race up is the Lakehurst Forest Sprint. It seems that a lot of people took the Lola T70. And, well, one brave soul took the Ford Cortina. He's even crazier than I am. The red team mainly prefers the Porsche 917, of course. Well, they drive like swines, so it's only just that they drive in one as well. I'm second on the grid of the human players, which means I have only drivatars directly in front of me. And as usual, I try to weave through the pack, and with a little punt from time to time, I'm able to secure second place pretty fast. And then we head towards the 90 degrees corner where absolutely nothing happens. Well, not as far as my car is concerned. Can't be too certain about what happens behind me, of course. And I can gain on pole pretty easily, but going through the corner is a bit awkward, as well drivatars tend to push and keep pushing, but I get past the little piggy nonetheless. And then out of nowhere comes a teammate who I did not see, and I push him a little bit wide, to which his reply is, "I'm on your team!" If I had known he was there, I would have given him more space, but I didn't, so deserved or not, I don't know. I tried to keep up with him, but it seems he has the faster car. Taking an alternative racing line through the grass. And then we come to the fun section. I enjoy this part of the track, in the right car at least. And as I said before, I usually favor handling tunes, which is perfect for these kinds of sections. But it is also in this section that I notice that this car does not handle as well as the cars that I'm used to. Or maybe I just can't handle this car. Also, Nomad seems to be struggling a bit. I think he has a speed build. And now I badly want to catch him. But he, well, kind of runs away on me on most straights. And I can sometimes catch up slightly, but not enough to really get on his tail. And again, in these faster corners, I notice my car does not handle high-speed corners that well. I should slow down for them quite a bit, which I don't, so thank the speed gods for the walls. And this next section flows quite nicely, and it goes decently. I do think that I lose a lot of time here, and with a better built car in S1 it should be possible to go a lot faster. At least a decent driver would be able to go a lot faster. And that 90 degrees corner, well, I missed my braking point, giving me a bad start to this last section of the race. A fast section with a couple tricky corners. Again, much depending on the car and the driver. And I have to brake again a lot more than I would love to. Nomad in front did not make any mistakes, so he will normally win this race. And without any hiccups from my side, I will probably get second place. Nice driving! And nice driving it was. He gets first place, I get second place, as was predicted. Team Piggy gets 1100 points, but we get 1350, thanks to 2 team members that actually quit. The brave person made it to 8th place in his Ford Cortina, which is a pretty decent spot with that car, I think. That marks our first victory and gives us our first point for this championship. Only one more needed. Will the next race bring us that point, or will the final race decide it all? Let's find out as we receive our first point and a little victory dance. And onwards to the next race it is. And for this next race, it is also a point-to-point race. It is the Horizon Festival Sprint, which is a fun little track. It is a very fast running track. But that also means that it is not that well suited for my car, I fear, as there are a lot of fast corners. And this time I start near the end, last line of the race, just in front of, or actually more next to, Nomad in his Ford GT40. I hope this race goes as smoothly as the previous one, and I hope I don't block Nomad again. We need him to win the race for us, so we have to treat him well. The start is a bit chaotic, but nothing too bad. And I know that this section is very dangerous, so I take it slow. And actually, well, it seems to be too slow for whomever is behind me, as he punts me over and over again, until I lose control of my car and spin out. And would you believe it? It's the guy who shouted, "I'm on your team!" in last race. Well, buddy, I'm on your team as well. I dropped down to 5th place. Time to catch me some piggies. The first one I take with a pretty dangerous move going on the side of the road on the grass, but it turned out okay. Time to turn my attention to the Shelby Cobra in front of me. And with a little punt, I can overtake him without problems. But that little punt, I think he deserved it. I have no idea why, but I'm sure he did deserve it. He's probably a very bad driver. When not racing, I think he likes to harass other drivers, so yes, he did deserve it. But I should not have bad-mouthed that driver, as now the driver gods take revenge. I was only just able to get the car back under control, but that 2nd place is lost for good. And if I'm not careful, I will lose 3rd place as well. Nice driving, and nice driving it was, when trying to punt me into the Shadow Realm. But nevertheless, it was fun. 1st place for Nomad, 3rd place for me, and, well, the racer in the Ford Cortina gets the Super GT position. Well done for him again. Human team, 2. Piggies, 0. And that seems to be a regular thing in this series. Last race, once more, is for honor only. And there is a lot of honor to be earned, because Forza had a big surprise for us for this final race. It is not just a race, it is the race of races. The big mama, or better analogy would actually be the fat swine in the stable, while most other races are just little piglets. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing the Goliath. And I'm starting on pole position. Nomad starts 2nd of our human team. Will he be able to avoid me? Will I be able to avoid him? Will he just force his way through again? We will find out in just a second, as I prepare myself for this beast of a race. I'm going to the outside. And I can pass everybody in the first couple of seconds. I do not want to make big mistakes at the very beginning, so I make sure to slow down for this first real corner. But Nomad is already on my tail. He goes flying past just as I was ready to do a little prayer in the church. Every time I make this mistake, every time. Well, I was lucky to have somebody in front because I always do forget this corner. I still misjudge it, causing this driver to pass me. But it's... No, wait. I did not make a mistake. I did that so it would not be me driving first for the entirety of the race, because that would be boring to watch. Yes, that's it. All of that was in name of entertainment and nothing else. Me making mistakes? No way. Not this little piggy. See, I'm back in second place already. Nomad is, well, somewhere on the horizon. And that's why this game is called Forza Horizon, right? Because you can see the guy in the lead somewhere on the horizon. To be honest, racing the Goliath is not my strong suit. I tend to make mistakes frequently. I always tell myself to drive slow where needed, but in the heat of the race I tend to forget and make often the same mistakes over and over again. I kind of know the danger spots, but usually I only know them at the moment they happen, like, oh yeah, I made this mistake last time as well. I should remember this for next time. Which I don't, of course. Or at least I never remember all of them. I always do remember some of them, and then I think I'm doing very, very well, only to make another mistake just seconds later. Nomad is driving the Ford GT40. Not sure which one, as there are multiple versions in the game. My first attempt at this championship was actually also with the GT40, but it was too slippery. That and the fact that I was pushed off-road multiple times by teammates in the first half of the first race made me think, what a wonderful world. So I decided to quit the championship. I did not want to suffer that kind of abuse with a car I could hardly control. And now seeing the last race is the Goliath, I'm very glad that I actually quit. That would have been no fun at all. This section, I have very mixed feelings about it. I'm not sure if I like it. There are a couple of turns that are very treacherous. One of them even has a wrong braking line, where if you start braking where the line suggests, you are sure to pay a visit to the green grass of home. But some parts are still very fun, nice flowing, so I'm not too sure where I stand on it. The handling of my car does not allow me to go too fast, which is maybe good for this section, as it also prevents me from making, well, big mistakes, as I still make some smaller ones. The entire top section goes fairly well up until now. Nomad is still far away, but I don't think he gained a lot on me. On the other hand, the driver behind me, well, he also can keep up pretty well. And now we are closing in on the 90-degree turn. And I see the driver come very closely. Almost lose it, but I can keep it under control. Onto the city. How will the city section go? And look at the minimap. You can see Nomad standing still. Something went wrong. Well, he explains it himself. Missing a checkpoint and still keeping first position. Very nice driving indeed. But it also brought me a lot closer to him as well. Will I be able to catch him? I will do my very darn best. And I have a better drive onto the main straight through the city as I'm slowly but surely catching up. And I actually wish that did not happen, as being so close makes me want to catch him too bad, which makes me hit the wall. Not too hard, but still I completely lose control and the physics decide I should make a nice pirouette. I should have worn my tutu instead of my nice suit. I only lose 2 positions, which is not too bad all things considering. Nevertheless, this was exactly what I was talking about. This is not the first time that I hit that wall. You think I should learn from my mistakes, right? Not me. And to make things worse, once this happens, I lose my flow and I start making all kinds of very little mistakes, bad shifts, far from ideal racing lines, even hitting walls ever so slightly. Sometimes I can recover myself and really continue driving within myself, but sometimes the bad flow just continues, which, to be honest, can also be frustrating, adding to the bad flow. But a good sector always helps, of course, and it also can depend a lot on the mood of the day. And having 2 driver cars just in front is both good and bad. It helps to focus and you have a target, you want to catch them, but at the same time it can make me want to go too fast, and any mistakes then will only damage me. Learning to drive within yourself, within your own limitation and skill sets is hard. Doing it at all times is even harder, but also necessary, especially on these long races. The driver cars in Forza Horizon can be pretty hilarious. They can drive at insane speeds, I think even near the speed of light, which would explain the ghost shifting as well. But they also seem to slow down for no reason whatsoever. The latter made me able to gain 1 position at the end of the beach section. And now I want to catch 2nd place as well. He's driving very fast ahead, but his handling does not allow it, and that makes him hit a wall and then disappear into oblivion, to infinity and beyond. Nomad giving me a compliment for a mistake the driver car actually made. Well, hey, I'll take it. Now all I have to do is hang on to this 2nd place, to this position. The driver car that went flying off only dropped down to 4th position. Not sure how he was able to achieve that. Sounds fishy to me, or rather baloney, as that is still somewhat tied to the whole pig theme we have going on. Driver car behind me is closing in. Will I be able to handle the pressure? I can't get away on the straight, so danger avoided for now. And we are kind of on the last section of the race with very little chance of catching Nomad, barring a mistake on his side of course, but he has been driving very well. So even with the little sparring going on between us at the start of the 1st and the 2nd race, he really did a very good job, finishing 1st in all 3 races. Well, most likely, as he is yet to finish this one. Or maybe I can still catch him, as I gained quite a bit on this very fast section. Not too sure about him having a speed build, as I was able to gain on him on straights on multiple occasions. But these fast corners are not suited for my car, which I'll gladly show for you as I hit the fence on the side of the road, spin out, hit the fence again, spin out, hit the fence again, and then go straight for the checkpoint through the grass. And then I trim the edge so the farmer no longer has to do that. I might not be able to handle the pressure of this race, but that doesn't stop me from doing some community work in the process. A short drop to 5th place, but with some mandatory pushing and shoving, I regained 4th place. That little stunt of mine might have cost us the race, as we are now behind on points. I had to keep 2nd to win us the race. Will I be able to still make it? I am close. I am so close I can almost smell the bacon. One other thing that I tend to do on these long races is look at the wrong things at the wrong time. Looking at the scoreboard and missing a break point, looking at the minimap, smashing a wall, those kind of idiotic things. Well, I must admit that it sometimes happens in short races as well, but mostly in long races. Nomad already saying nice driving, and it was indeed nice driving what he did. Me, not so much. I'm really displeased with myself that I lost second place, and with this small straight I can't regain that position at all. I finish in fourth place. The pigs have won tonight. Now they can all sleep soundly and everything is alright. But fortunately for us, that's only true for the last race, as we already had enough points to win us the Pink Pig Trial. And what do we win for this trial, this week's Co-op Championship? Well, of course, it could not be anything else but the Pink Pig itself. I hope you enjoyed this lengthy episode and were not annoyed. If that's the case, then press a thumbs down button. Everybody else should subscribe and press the thumbs up button. Well, massive amounts of cash and influence makes me gain a position, so we get a wheel spin. What do we get out of our really nice wheel spin? It is a very, very nice car, but I already have 4 of those on my driveway. See you next week, ladies and gentlemen.